Here's a quick video about how we're going to do freestyle in our wrestling academy. It's just for the St. Louis area. We're not going to have a freestyle training and camps and team stuff in Northern Illinois or Southern Missouri. We have academy locations everywhere, but our hub is here in the St. Louis area. So if you're in our core skills room, or like our high school only rooms, our core skills rooms, you're sticking with folk style wrestling. Now our elite rooms, we're going to have about 6 or 8 weeks of freestyle. And because you're the ones who are probably more likely or probably more interested in wrestling in college, right? Except for like the 7, 8, 9-year-old kids who are in the core skills room. But the core skills rooms are going to stay folk style. And then in our elite rooms and in our world-class wrestler program, we have a location obviously in Moscow Mills, Missouri, and also in Arkansas. We're going to be in freestyle for about 2 months, just like we have been for years. When you do wrestle in college, they're going to expect you to know how to wrestle freestyle. They're going to recruit off of freestyle records. They're going to ask you, what'd you do this summer? And they don't want to hear, well, I went to open mat or, just lifted weights. They want to hear, hey, did you compete? Did you go to some tournaments? Okay. So it is vital that you get some wrestling experience, because when you go to a college, whether it's a small college or a big college, guess what they're going to have you doing in the summer? Entering freestyle tournaments, massive ones. There's like 40 NCAA All-Americans, at the U23s and these big college national freestyle tournaments. And you're gonna be going to those, and you don't want to just show up there as and as a 19-year-old saying, I've never wrestled freestyle before. What the heck's this? That's not going to be a good thing. So this freestyle is very important that you guys in our elite rooms and world-class wrestler program get some wrestling time and just learn the ropes. If you don't want to wrestle for 4 months of freestyle and you don't want to try to make the world team, we're going to have some kids who are going to do the world team trials. You don't care about going to junior and cadet nationals in Fargo. It's just called Fargo nowadays. That's fine. But for 2 months until Freestyle State, which is the very last weekend in April, April 22nd and 3rd actually, you need to get some freestyle. And once or twice a week when you're practicing with us, just learn the ropes, okay? And if you go to our other, like maybe our high school only core skills rooms or other youth and high school mixed core skills rooms, those are all on your feet for about 2 months. So, there's no confusion anyway. You can easily wrestle folk style. There's tournaments that wrestle freestyle, folk style, and Greco all in a weekend. They're called 3-style tournaments, all in one weekend. So it's not confusing. Some people say, well, we can't be practicing folk style because it's freestyle season, or I don't want to do one freestyle practice because it's going to ruin my folk style. And, in 3 weeks from now, we're going to some big folk style dual team. It doesn't work that way. It's not a big deal. It's like indoor versus outdoor soccer. Dive in and do it. Don't think so much. That's my opinion. Now, what about you girls and young women? Your college wrestling is freestyle. You will if you leave high school and wrestle in college, you'll never wrestle folk style ever again. It's over. So you definitely need to be wrestling freestyle, and just for that reason. Now, is freestyle important for getting recruited into college? Your freestyle tournaments, if you go to Southern Plains, which is a big freestyle tournament, and you beat a woman or a girl or a boy or a young man who has signed a scholarship to wrestle for the University of Iowa Women's, that's helpful. We can go to all over the nation and say, hey, this girl right here, she beat her. Then guess what? Now you start getting recruited. Same with you guys. If you go to a big freestyle tournament, maybe in Kansas City, you go to a big freestyle tournament in Kansas City, maybe there's someone from Nebraska there. He's signed, he's going to the University of Nebraska, or maybe, University of Nebraska Kearney, an elite Division II wrestling college, and you beat that wrestler, even though it's freestyle, that is good, right? So, yes, anytime you beat someone in a competition, we can use that from a marketing strategy to help. It's called common opponent, and then we push out to all the college recruiters and say, hey, and we just name these competitions, and now they start to say, hey, I'm gonna take a look at her, I'm gonna take a look at him. Okay, so there is no substitute for beating somebody who is tremendous and beating somebody who is already signed at a college. Okay, so now what about going to junior nationals in Fargo, North Dakota? I think it's a tremendous. I think you should put it on your radar and go. We have a lot of boys and a lot of girls go every single year. If you decide not to and you're mostly focused on folk style, that's fine, because you have Super 32, you have Virginia Beach, which is this weekend, USA Nationals. Those are 3 big events. You have the Disney Duels, which is folk style, and if you have a team to get on there, you're going to get a lot of opportunity to butt heads with a lot of killers from around America, and you just got to beat a couple of them and go toe to toe with the rest. So junior nationals is another opportunity to get on the mat in front of some recruiters and to go toe to toe with some of the top wrestlers in America. Certainly a wonderful opportunity. I would encourage you to do that, but not necessarily mandatory, because these other tournaments I mentioned are up here from a recruiting standpoint. Fargo is down here. Junior Nationals is down here. There's probably a lot more interest now in Junior Nationals and freestyle, because they've kind of taken the freestyle out of freestyle and made it basically a takedown match. I've had many college coaches, a few of them famous, say, yeah, we watch it, but we don't pay that much attention to it. We want to see how these kids do on the folk style mat. That's the reason I'm always pushing you guys to hit Super 32s, hit Virginia Beach, hit USA Nationals, and win and have some big wins over some top opponents on the folk style mat. But for junior nationals, or maybe you make Team Illinois, Team Missouri, maybe you make the cadet national team in freestyle, the junior national team in freestyle, and Team Missouri takes you to the junior national freestyle duels, where you get 14 matches in a few days. Tremendous opportunity, but they only take one. You have to be the state champ, the number 1 guy. So not everybody's going to make that. Now, what about you girls? Junior nationals and Fargo, much more important. Much more important. Is it more important than Virginia Beach Super 32s? No, but they're all probably tied for first. It definitely should be something that you're focusing on. Just because it's freestyle and that's what you're going to be wrestling in college. However, don't kid yourself. If you go to junior nationals and you don't win, or you don't place in Fargo, but you go to Super 32s and you win that thing, even though it's folk style, your phone's going to ring off the hook. You place there. So the men are getting recruited from their freestyle results, but there's more emphasis on folk style. The women is pretty much 50-50. It's pretty much the same. You win in a freestyle tournament, you beat someone huge, you win a national title in folk style, they love you. You win a national title in freestyle, they love you. So, you really need to put more emphasis on freestyle versus what the boys do. So that's kind of the way it works. Now, where does Greco-Roman lay into this? If you're hardcore, and when I was a wrestler, I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to wrestle Greco and go to the Marines, and I was really into it back in the day. And my brother was actually second in the U.S. Open. We wrestled some Greco in college many years ago, so we were really into it. But Greco's kind of a dead sport, nationwide, and it's dying. So if you do it, have some fun. Get out there, enter some Greco tournaments. It's phenomenal. You might even be one of those guys like the Mango, like Spencer Mango. He didn't go to college. He's just went to Marquette University in Michigan and trained with their Greco program and made the Olympic team and world team. So, Greco's, I definitely encourage our guys to hit a few Greco tournaments, and they're starting to get some Greco tournaments for women, but not very many. But I would encourage you to try it. And if you love it, go hardcore and go to Fargo and Greco a bit. I don't see you getting a college wrestling scholarship because you have some big Greco-Roman wins, but it's still an awesome sport and you can learn a lot from it, and it's going to make you a better wrestler. So that's kind of where we're at, and I'll post this on social media and YouTube and send this out to everybody.